Have you ever caught someone looking at you and wondered, is she trying to say something? Without even realizing it, sometimes the tiniest actions done without thought reveal far more than words ever could. And if you're not paying attention, you might completely miss a powerful truth that she might be secretly attracted to you. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden behaviors and unconscious cues women show when they're quietly interested in someone. From subtle eye contact to instinctive gestures they might not even be aware of, these little things speak volumes. Have you ever wondered if a woman in your life has feelings for you but keeps them buried under the surface? Women often express interest through delicate, unspoken signals, and if you're not tuned in, you might overlook them entirely. Today, we'll dive into 7 powerful signs that a woman may be into you. Signs supported by psychology and backed by what she's likely been signaling all along. Just imagine how being able to read these silent cues could transform your interactions and relationships. Because this unspoken language often tells you more than words ever could, each sign is not random. It's a subtle but intentional glimpse into her true emotional state. Attraction is a fascinating dance of unspoken energy, glances, posture, instinctive movements, to help you sharpen your social radar and respond with greater confidence. Psychologists have studied and decoded these consistent patterns. If you're new here, don't forget to like this video. We'll break down each of the 7 signs in detail, offering fresh insights into the people around you. And if you find this content useful, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Did you know that only 15% of viewers here are actually subscribed? Don't miss your chance to become more socially aware and emotionally attuned. Let's begin with the first sign, one that's simple, subtle, but incredibly telling: the lingering glance. If you've ever caught someone holding eye contact just a moment longer than expected, it's no accident. A sustained gaze is one of the clearest non-verbal indicators that a woman is intrigued. Eyes are among the most powerful tools in human connection. When she locks eyes with you, it's not just curiosity, it's a silent invitation. Studies show that extended eye contact builds emotional closeness and bonding. When someone maintains that gaze, they're not only captivated, they're also reading you, watching to see if you respond the same way. This lingering look isn't just interest, it's a subtle question. Do you feel it too? Biologically, we now understand that prolonged eye contact can even be an automatic reaction when someone's truly intrigued. Recognizing this look can give you the confidence to make a move, start a conversation, or return the gaze in a way that mirrors her interest. And that's just the beginning. Attraction doesn't just live in the mind, it triggers physical reactions. When a woman feels drawn to someone, her pupils often dilate, and her attention instinctively locks onto the person who's captured her interest. But to really understand her emotions, look for the small cues that tend to follow: a soft smile, slightly raised eyebrows, or a gentle tilt of her head. These aren't just random expressions, they are silent punctuation marks to her lingering gaze. So the next time you notice her holding eye contact, don't dismiss it. Look closer. Ask yourself, are her eyes saying something she's not ready to put into words? Sign 2, the subtle touch. Have you ever felt that quick, seemingly accidental brush from a woman and found yourself wondering if it was truly unintentional? A playful tap on your arm, a brief hand graze when you both reach for something. These aren't coincidences, they're quiet invitations, a way for her to say, I feel comfortable with you. In the unspoken language of attraction, touch is a powerful force. It shortens the space between two people, not just physically, but emotionally. Psychological studies show that even the briefest physical contact can build trust and emotional rapport. So, when she reaches out, even subtly, she's breaking down invisible barriers. She's showing that she feels safe, at ease, and connected. But touch isn't just about closing distance. It creates a form of intimacy that words alone can't match. A lingering hand on your shoulder, a playful nudge. These are signs that her body is responding, perhaps even faster than her mind is ready to admit. Even more surprising, these soft touches can trigger the release of oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone, which deepens feelings of warmth and trust. By staying tuned in to these cues, you'll begin to sense her level of comfort and whether she's silently inviting a deeper connection. So pay close attention, because her touches may reveal feelings she hasn't yet found the courage to speak. Sign 3. Unspoken compliments. A woman who's secretly into you may not always say it outright, but her admiration slips through in subtle ways. You might catch her commenting on your outfit, or laughing just a bit longer than the joke deserves. Maybe she casually brings up something you're good at, or teases you playfully in conversation. None of these are random. They're subconscious ways of saying, "I'm paying attention to you, and I like what I see." Psychologists have observed that we naturally emphasize the traits we admire in those we're drawn to. So, when she compliments your sense of humor, intelligence, or throws in a few playful remarks about your talents, it's likely a quiet attempt at connection. Her words may not be direct, but the intent behind them is clear. She's impressed, and she wants you to know it without saying it outright. We just explored how unspoken compliments can carry more emotional weight than direct praise. Sometimes what's left unsaid says the most. Have you ever felt someone admires you, even though they never actually said it out loud? True appreciation often reveals itself through the subtlest channels. You might notice her tone softening whenever she speaks to you, or her eyes lighting up when you talk about something you've achieved. Maybe she remembers tiny details about your interests, things even your closest friends forget. These subtle gestures do more than flatter your ego. They build emotional closeness. They show she sees you for who you are, and she values that. This kind of quiet admiration is her safe way of expressing interest. It allows her to stay protected while still reaching out. In fact, psychological studies reveal that when someone expresses admiration through indirect cues, it often deepens attraction more than obvious flattery. You'll notice these signs in micro-expressions. The way she leans in a little closer when you speak, how she mirrors your gestures unconsciously, or raises her eyebrows with interest when you share something bold. No words needed, but the message is crystal clear. I'm engaged. I'm drawn to you. And by recognizing these silent signals, you achieve two things. 1. You affirm her feelings without putting pressure on her to confess them. 2. You show emotional intelligence, the rare ability to understand what isn't said outright. This kind of shared understanding becomes the groundwork for something deeper, where both of you feel truly seen and appreciated, beyond surface-level small talk. Sign 4. Deep, engaging conversation. When a woman is genuinely into you, her conversations with you change. They shift from casual exchanges to thoughtful, energized dialogues. She'll guide the conversation toward topics that matter, ones that reveal your worldview, your passions, your values. These aren't just chats, they're bridges she's building. And what makes them powerful isn't how long they last, it's how deep they go. She'll remember details you mentioned days or weeks ago and bring them up later. Her questions won't be surface level, they'll peel back your layers sometimes. She might play devil's advocate just to keep the conversation going, just to learn more about how you think. She might even smile when you share an unpopular opinion, not because she agrees, but because you're revealing your real self. This back and forth isn't just conversation, it's mental chemistry, and it shows she's not only curious, she's investing energy to truly know you. Why does this matter? Because neuroscience shows that deep conversations trigger dopamine, the feel-good chemical that promotes bonding and emotional intimacy. So when she leans in, remembers, challenges, and opens up, she's doing more than talking. She's connecting. Did you know that substantial conversations trigger dopamine release in both people involved? This feel-good chemical creates a sense of euphoria, one that's often mistaken for romantic chemistry. So when she consistently chooses to engage in these rich exchanges with you while keeping others at a surface level, it's one of the clearest signs that her interest runs much deeper than friendship. The topics themselves may vary, but what matters is the consistent pattern. She seeks out these dialogues with you and only you. You'll notice how she dives into your interests, shares stories from her life and keeps the conversation flowing with genuine curiosity. These exchanges serve a double purpose. They help her understand you better and gradually allow her to reveal more of herself. Psychological research confirms that deep conversations create stronger interpersonal bonds, which explains why she puts consistent emotional energy into talking with you. You'll spot her interest through subtle cues. Her voice softens, she leans in slightly, or she gently guides the topic toward more personal territory. And her body language will often say even more than her words. Steady eye contact, open arms, or mirroring your posture, these signals are all there. If you're paying attention, the more of these meaningful exchanges you share, the stronger your connection becomes. Notice how she remembers the little details. Maybe something you said weeks ago, a random quote, a song you like, or an obscure opinion. These aren't coincidences. They're signs of someone consciously investing in emotional closeness. Pro tip: when you spot her making this kind of conversational effort, respond with thoughtful follow-up questions. Doing so creates a positive feedback loop where both, if you feel safe to open up, over time, this turns surface-level chat into real emotional bonding, because sometimes a single meaningful conversation can speak louder than grand romantic gestures. Sign 5. Thoughtful gesturous attraction doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and one of its softest, clearest whispers. Small, thoughtful actions that show she's tuned into your comfort and needs. She might save you a seat, remember your favorite coffee order, or give you a playful elbow nudge during a shared laugh. These may seem like little things, but they form an unspoken language of care. Psychologists refer to these behaviors as serving acts, subtle gestures that express affection without creating pressure or risking rejection. They allow her to show interest in a safe, supportive way, especially if she's not yet ready to say it out loud. And if you're observant, you'll begin to see her feelings often show themselves long before her words ever do. We talked about the power of thoughtful actions, how small, personalized gestures can reveal deep affection. But what makes them truly meaningful? It's not the size, it's the intent behind them. What sets these gestures apart isn't how grand they are, but how specific they are to you. Anyone can be nice, but her kind actions, they're tailored. She remembers your food allergy when ordering. She notices when you're overwhelmed in crowded spaces and gives you room. She shows up with your exact favorite drink without you even asking. These aren't random. They're signs she's been observing, remembering, and caring. And they activate what psychologists call the reciprocity of liking effect. When we perceive someone is paying close, thoughtful attention to us, we naturally become more drawn to them. Key insight: the frequency and spontaneity of these gestures matter more than their scale. When she consistently incorporates these small, considerate actions into your daily interactions, she's not just being polite. She's showing emotional investment. Sign 6. Emotional transparency. Atlantic often takes on its deepest form when emotional walls begin to fall. When a woman starts letting you in emotionally, it's one of the most powerful signs that she's beginning to see you as someone special. This kind of emotional transparency goes beyond small talk. She might open up about her private hopes, or share stories from childhood, or even admit her current fears or insecurities, the kinds of things she wouldn't tell just anyone. And when she chooses to share this side of herself with you, what she's really saying is, I trust you with the real me. According to psychology, self-disclosure in relationships follows a gradual pattern. It starts with basic facts like I work in marketing, then moves to emotions. I sometimes feel lost in my career, and eventually leads to core vulnerabilities, the things she deeply fears or desires. What should you watch for? Moments when the tone of the conversation shifts suddenly to something serious. Stories that feel like tests, where she's checking to see how you'll respond before going deeper. When she mirrors your vulnerability with her own, soon after you open up. Subtle body language shifts, like her relaxing physically as she opens up emotionally. All of this contributes to what psychologists call emotional intimacy, the true foundation of any lasting romantic relationship. So when she keeps choosing you to confide in again and again, know this: she's not just interested. She's inviting you into a connection that matters. We explored how emotional vulnerability can deepen bonds. But what truly accelerates this connection? It's when she chooses you to share those deeper parts of herself again and again. This creates what's known as the accelerator effect. When someone opens up emotionally, shares private stories or inner thoughts, the relationship deepens faster than usual. So, when she begins turning to you for your perspective on personal matters, or lets you see her unfiltered self, it means two very significant things. 1. She respects your judgment. And 2. She trusts you enough to be emotionally vulnerable. Neuroscience explains this beautifully. Mutual vulnerability activates the brain's attachment system, triggering the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone that increases emotional closeness. Couples who engage in this kind of meaningful sharing tend to form what experts call secure attachment, the emotional bedrock of lasting relationships. Her emotional transparency can show up in small but powerful ways, suddenly shifting from playful to serious mid-conversation, testing the waters with a semi-personal story before going deeper, or physically relaxing while talking about something deeply personal. Key takeaway: the difference between polite conversation and true connection lies in reciprocity and consistency. If she remembers your previous emotional disclosures, initiates deeper conversations instead of just responding, and visibly relaxes or feels relieved when you affirm her emotions, then you're witnessing the real roots of emotional intimacy being formed. Sign 7. Respectful engagement. This is the 7th and arguably the most underrated sign of hidden attraction. But it's one of the clearest. It's not about charm or flirtation. It's about consistent, considerate engagement that shows she genuinely values who you are. This goes beyond surface-level politeness. It's a pattern, one that reveals itself through the way she continually interacts with you. Here's how it usually looks. 1. She respects your opinions. Even if she disagrees, she doesn't shut you down. She listens, considers your view, and responds thoughtfully. 2. She respects your time. She's present when you talk, not distracted. She remembers plans and follows through. She shows up with intention. 3. She notices your emotional needs. If you're feeling off, she subtly shifts the tone. In groups, she makes sure you're included and engaged. Psychologists call this the respect-attraction loop. When we feel truly seen and valued, our attraction naturally increases. And the most telling factor: consistency. Anyone can fake manners once or twice, but genuine interest shows up consistently, across situations, across time. We saw how consistent, respectful engagement is a rare but powerful indicator of genuine attraction. Now, it's time to look deeper into the subtle ways that true interest shows up through attention. Maintaining this level of thoughtful interaction over time can't be faked. It's a sign of authentic emotional investment. So, what should you watch for? The way her questions go beyond small talk, digging into your ideas, passions, and feelings. How she stands up for your perspective when others ignore or dismiss it. That slight pause before she responds, signaling that she's truly processing what you just said. Her comfort with quiet moments, sitting with you in calm silence. A strong indicator of emotional security. Here's the key. This 7th sign often acts as the glue that binds the previous 6 together, because while lingering glances and playful touches may spark initial attraction, it's this kind of ongoing, respectful connection that turns a spark into something meaningful. But here's the truth: recognizing these 7 signs is only the beginning. The real impact comes from how you respond. Don't rush. Respond to her emotional openness with genuine understanding. Acknowledge her thoughtful gestures with warmth, not over-eagerness. Match her respectful presence with equal attentiveness. When you meet her energy with your own, you create the space where real connection can grow. So what actually separates polite interaction from real romantic interest? The answer lies in her level of attention. When a woman is secretly into you, her focus sharpens. She leans in when you speak. She remembers the things you said weeks ago. She makes you feel in that moment, like you're the only one who matters. This isn't just manners, it's her subconscious telling you you're a priority. Psychologists call this selective attention. It's how the brain naturally locks onto the people we're attracted to, and you'll notice it through very specific signals. She remembers your comments with surprising detail. Her whole body is oriented toward you, even her feet. She rarely checks her phone around you. She nods at the emotional beats of your story, and she asks value-driven questions like, "How did your pitch go last week?" These aren't accidents. They're part of a quiet but powerful language of interest. Here are 3 subtle but meaningful cues to look for. 1. The 3-second rule. After you finish speaking, she maintains eye contact for about 3 extra seconds. It's a sign she's deeply engaged, not just waiting for her turn to talk. 2. Conversational scaffolding. She builds on your ideas naturally. You like jazz? Have you heard the new Kamasi Washington album? 3. Micro-affirmations. Simple responses like, "That's a great point. I never thought of it that way." These small acknowledgements show she's listening and that she cares. We explored how selective attention and consistent behaviors quietly reveal authentic interest. Now, let's bring it all together and reflect on what these signals truly mean. What makes this behavior particularly telling is its consistency across different contexts. It's not a what-I'm gesture. It's a pattern. Sure, she might be polite to everyone, but with you, her conversations go deeper beyond what social norms require. Her memory is unusually specific, recalling things most people forget, and she's emotionally attuned, noticing your mood shifts with striking sensitivity. Here's the beauty of it. Attraction rarely shouts. It whispers, and you have to be present to hear it. The most meaningful signs of interest often appear in the lingering silence between laughter and the next sentence, in the eye contact that holds just a little longer, in the quiet body language that says, "I see you," without words. These 7 signs form a web, interconnected, delicate but powerful. And when you start seeing multiple signs consistently across time and context, it likely means this is something real, not just friendliness. True connection begins with awareness. When you can recognize these subtle cues, you gain the power to respond intentionally. Don't force it. Respond with steady interest. Create emotional safety. Let the connection grow naturally. If you found this video valuable, please hit the like button. It helps us grow and create more content on human behavior, confidence, and emotional intelligence. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We upload weekly. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and remember,